So we're going to hear next from Petra, Aeberhand from Neustadt. Come on up, Petra. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Petra Aeberhand from Neustadt. Me and my husband immigrated in 2002 from Switzerland. We we bought a farm, 250 acres east of Neustadt. And we started with beef and pigs. In 2008, we made a change. We kept the beef and we went into sheep. And from there on, got a little bit up. And we had also do a change. My husband he started to go off the farm for work first a couple days, and now it's full-time off the farm. I try to keep on with the work on my own, and we do most that we can in the morning and evening together. And since then the kids grow too. We have 4 boys. The oldest is 10, 7, 3, and 1. So I have quite help us on the rise. I do a lot. I was back home. I was florist, and I love to do gardening and all that too. And I have quite a big house garden for our own. I do since, I'm not even sure, 4 or 5 years. I deliver our restaurant in Neustadt in Neustadt. But this fall, the owner stopped there, and he likes to sell it. So hopefully for spring, somebody will go on there. That would be for me. That's my producer. As I'm the producer from him, I'm his main supplier, I would say. So my grant went towards used windows. My husband works as a carpenter, so he got some big windows from a big cottage or so, and he brought me those home already 5 years ago. He said that's my present for Mother's Day, but still stays in the shed. So when Maria was telling me in spring, if you have any project, I said, yeah, project, but the time runs always away. So I thought, well, that's the thing to go. So until fall, I have enough time to set that up with him, and we can go from there. That I can extend my vegetable season a little bit longer in fall and maybe earlier in spring. That would be the idea. But everybody knows this summer was kind of crazy. First, nobody had something to cut, and then everything ran into fall. Just last week, we took off another cut. So that greenhouse still not up yet, but the posts are in, and that's a good reason. The other thing that we had this summer, my youngest, it's not on here, but I had to go with him to the hospital 11 days, all of the sudden, and he's on there. So that just pushed me way back, and the farm work too. So Jennifer and Maria said, that's okay, you still can go on and have your presentation. Just take some pictures from the farm. So I will hope that we'll get it soon done. So I still have something for spring. Yeah, I think I have everything. Yeah. Thank you very much for listening.
Thanks, Petra. It's wonderful to see all these greenhouses popping up everywhere. You know, when I first started this job in 2009, we identified that there was a real lack of local produce. And in the last 4 years, that has really, really changed. And it's so amazing to see all of the vegetable producers that we have. It's just fabulous. Next, we're going to hear from Anita DeJong from Wiarton, from DeJong Acres. And it's Sweet Things from DeJong Acres, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Need any help there?
I don't think so. Okay. It's okay.
Okay, great. Thank you, Maria. My name is Anita,
And my husband and I, we have 2 daughters that are 10 and 8, and we've been farming sheep for about 11 years. Initially, we were both working full-time as well. And 4 years ago, we moved to our current location at Lake Charles, which is between Wiarton and Owen Sound. And my husband at that point started farming full-time. And a year ago, we expanded our sheep flock to up to 700 ewes, and at this point, I'm now full-time on the farm as well. So that was an exciting time for us. However, just getting the sheep is just the beginning of the battle. So in order to make sure that we had as much cash flow as possible, we also decided to really push what we did with the farm and create as much income as we possibly could. And so even though we'd had chickens and so on before, we kind of maxed out everything that we could. So we went up to 300 broilers to raise this year. We did 50 turkeys, and we had 100 layers, which is the maximum we can do for all of those. And added some beehives to what I already had, so we're up to 34 hives. And we are marketing about 24 lambs through our own store as cuts. We are increasing our maple syrup production as well, so we're going up to 300 taps on that, and that's probably about as much as we can handle. So with the this move to full-time farming, it was, and adding all of these things, we were increasing and I guess creating some retail at the farm. So this is kind of what started it. It was kind of the first step, because we lived in a trailer for the first 3 years that we were at this property, and there really wasn't anywhere to market any of our product. But the neighbors were all asking if we would sell our lamb, and if we would sell chicken, and if we would, all the things that we were raising, they wanted access to it as well. So we thought, well, that's fine. And it kind of helped justify the house, because it allowed us to set up some retail and actually have people come in and purchase. So we did get the retail set up, and now moving all of these things through the store helps to, it's the milk money. It's kind of, the sheep are what we live off of. At that point, they're definitely paying the mortgage, and they're paying for the equipment and whatnot, but you just need sometimes that cash in the wallet, so you can get the bread and you can get your milk, and obviously we've got lots of meat and eggs, but it's what makes that all work. And we also, through the store, we're also doing beeswax candles. We have wool blankets now that we had made at McCausland's from our own wool, and we're having some lambskins tanned, so we have a few lambskins there as well. When we made this decision and the house came, and we started ramping everything up to try and maximize the income we could get off the farm, we developed a website at the beginning of the year, and this was all before I knew about this program, so it was kind of neat, because we had just started getting the ball rolling. But we had signs made so that it was obvious to people going past that we had a retail space there. We had business cards developed, because we had the website design and we thought it was pretty cool, so we said, can you make that into a business card? So we have business cards as well. We hold 3 open houses a year: Good Friday, just before Thanksgiving, and just before Christmas. So all of the eating holidays, they might as well come and get their food right before the holiday. When we do that, we put up posters around the area. We put little flyers and mailboxes up and down the road. And in the spring, we're actually going to sponsor, the church does a newsletter that goes out in mailboxes, and it goes in every mailbox in 5 different rural routes around the area. So we're going to sponsor that, and that'll give us really good coverage. We host a lot of tours, and we are one of the hosts for the Kemmel Maple Syrup Tour, which brings, 300 or 400 people onto the property, and is great, because those people come shopping for local food. So they go to all of the stops, and they've got their wallets opening, saying, what are you selling? What have you got? Have you got honey? Have you got meat? What can we buy? And it's fantastic how supportive this area is of local food. And it's not like this everywhere. We've lived in other areas, and it wasn't the same type of clientele. The website, we found, is just an absolutely fantastic tool, because everything we do, we steer them back to the website. So the little flyers that go in mailboxes steer people back to the website. The posters we put up, we put QR links on it so people can scan that and go right back to the website. And that gives us some stats. And so I can see, whenever I've done a promotion, I can see the spike of people visiting the website, and I can tell that it's having an effect, and people mention it to us as well. And I also use a program called MailChimp to send out email updates every couple of months. So people leave their email addresses with us, and we can send out updates about what's going on at the farm. And they're very supportive. I've only had one person unsubscribe, and it's because she couldn't see the pictures properly, so she unsubscribed. But it's great because they're very supportive of that as well. They don't consider it junk mail. So the signs were something we did in the spring, but like I said, this was all kind of stuff we had done before. And in the spring, we actually hired a part-time assistant to make sure that we could have consistent store hours. And I think that was key in making the retail at the farm successful, is that people wanted to know when they could come out to the store and that there would be someone there. So it's hard when it's in your house and when you're trying to run a farm, because you've got errands to run. And I mean, how many things did I list? And all those things have to go to slaughter at some point. So you've got errands to run and places to go. So having someone that is there every morning until 1 o'clock meant that we could post hours, that we could put them on our website and put them on cards, and people know that they can come and there'll be someone there. And she also does my housework, so it works really well while she's waiting for customers. So I get the housekeeper, and she does baking and makes our supper and everything. It's really cool. And I think that's really, like, if you're farming, I think you have to give yourself permission to do what is your strength and let someone else do the rest. And I don't think that the wife should have to do the chores and the marketing and the bookwork and the meals and the laundry. So I'll vouch for any of you that agree with that. Yeah. You got to spend your time where it's best spent. So, and the other thing that we did do this year, we had lots of extra eggs, so we ended up taking eggs to get graded and took them to the Wiarton Farmers Market to help get rid of some excess eggs, and also to have an opportunity to hand out our card and introduce ourselves to people and meet people and let them know that if they come to the farm, they can get the eggs a whole lot cheaper. So that worked really good. So our use of the producer support project funding was actually to develop a consistent line of labeling and a logo that we could use for advertising. So I brought those with me. My company just... All right, we'll see if we can, I don't know if I can juggle it all. So anyways, and maybe I can set them at the table at the back if people want to take a look at them. So we work with Precision Design here in Owen Sound, and they designed our website, and they've designed the labels for me. So we thought it was really important, especially we have a couple of stores that are wanting to carry our product. So we want our brand to be recognizable, we want people to see it, and we want it to look professional and be consistent. So this is a logo we'll be able to use for embroidery, or they developed some letterhead for us that we can use. We've got the labels for the maple syrup and the honey, and then we've also got a dangle tag that we can put on all the other stuff on the blankets and so on. So a great big thank you to the Grey Bruce Food Link for all of their support. They do a great job of, whenever we have open houses, we also send them a flyer and they post it for us, for having that link, the listing that's available there, and for this actual program. So it's been great. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's amazing. That's an amazing story, and amazingly great news as well. That's pretty rare. You know, that story that you've just heard is quite an amazing story, and a pretty rare story, that two people are no longer working off the farm and that they've hired somebody, you know, and you can see how they're also hiring other companies to help them develop their business. So all this money stays in our communities. And it's also quite special to have graded eggs at a farmer's market. So you're providing that in Wiarton, so that's another fantastic thing. And that's quite an effort to do that, because she has to transport down to Hanover to get those graded and bring them back up. So that's a really great effort that you're making, and congratulations. Okay.